So I started off with probably about a yard or so of felt from the fabric store, felt that I use for various projects, and I cut the felt into strips. The strips are probably about 1 inch by 6 inches. Now it's gonna go like this on your wrist, so if you have wide wrist, you might want to make it longer, maybe 6.5, 7 inches. Or if you have smaller wrist, you might want to make it shorter. Your preference. So we cut them into these little strips. You're gonna upholster 2 of them, and then the other 2 are gonna go behind them after you have added the feathers and whatever bling you feel you want to add to it. I always pretty much use the same type of material. I just really love it. It's the polka dot sequins fabric that you can find online or at your local fabric store. I have this 3 to 5 inch feathers that I get from eBay. I really just search feather trim, or you don't always necessarily need a trim. I search the color feather that I need and I sort by price, and whichever one's cheaper, that's the one I purchase. I don't have a specific vendor that I'm loyal to. Money talks. And then the other colors, these are about 6 to 8 inch feathers that are gonna go behind these. And they're just leftovers from other jobs. And those are also purchased from eBay. After we cut and upholster the wristlets, we're going to go around the edges with some type of trim. That's why it's really not that important that the edges of them are 100% straight, because we're going to cover that anyway. And what I'm going to put on it is this bling on a roll that I got from the Dollar Tree, 9 feet. Not bad. I actually only need probably 2 rows, and this one has 3. Or if you want, you could use 1 row, your choice. So I'm just gonna cut it as so. And guess I'll decide now whether I want to go with 2 or 1. And I definitely like 2. I mean, it's only $1 for the whole row. On that splurge just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down on both of these and push forward. Okay, so we've added the bling around the wristlets. You could leave it as is, or you could put some stones in the center. I'm gonna go with this metallic trim in the center instead of stones, because as the wristlet bends around your wrist, those stones are likely to fall off. So with a trim, it's gonna definitely be more sturdy, and you're not gonna have missing stones at the end of your carnival day. So glue these on and push forward. Right, so we added our bling to the center. Now we're just gonna glue some feathers on the opposite side. There's really not a rhyme or reason. These are just feathers that I have left over from a previous project. Previously on another project, I discussed how feathers point a certain way. They point up or down. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, if I glue the feathers this way, they're gonna be pointing up. If I turn it the other way, they're going to be pointing down towards my wrist. And it just looks better when they're pointing up. It makes them look fuller. So I'm going to make sure that I glue them pointing up underneath the wristlet. And then I'm just going to grab some random feathers and glue them in random places. Whatever, something like that. But it'll look fabulous. Right now, this looks a hot mess. Let me glue it down. As I glue down the back to seal it, you'll notice that I didn't glue down a ribbon to tie it around the wrist. That's because I'm going to poke a hole on each end and run a ribbon through there. And that probably makes no sense right now, so I'm going to demonstrate shortly what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is the final product. And on the other side, you can see the holes that I was talking about that I drilled versus gluing the ribbon all the way around the wristlet. I just drilled holes on both sides and ran a ribbon through it. And under normal circumstances, you would cut all this excess, but the person who's going to be wearing it probably has a wrist larger than my daughter, therefore I'm going to just leave it and let them cut it. And voila, there you go, some very simple do-it-yourself carnival wristlets to match your costume. Thank you.